In this lesson, we will learn how to submit a presenter and a venue listing to costarts.org. You have learned in a previous lesson how to log on and have seen the menu of choices. If you choose Submit a Presenter from that menu, a form will appear, which, if filled in and submitted, will immediately create a presenter listing in the Coastal Arts directory of costarts.org. If you choose Submit a Venue from that menu, a form will appear which, if filled in and submitted, will immediately create a venue listing in the Coastal Arts directory of costarts.org. As with the artist submission form, some of the entries are required and some are optional for a presenter. In the form, the required items will have an asterisk in the label. You should be prepared to enter these into the form. A main image on your computer will also be needed. Optional items can be left blank, and the headings for the unused items will not appear in the listing. The same is true for the venue submission form. Here are the required and optional entries for a venue. Both forms are so similar to the artist submission form, we think you can easily use them in our exercises to experience the process. Note that the presenter submission form has a text box for the optional entry of ticket information, which may be used by only a few of the presenters for promotion of season tickets or other special ticket offers. This can be several lines of text. Also note for the presenter submission that in addition to a main image, a logo image can be optionally chosen and should be an image of dimensions of at least 300 by 225 pixels and should be the same proportion of width to height. It is wise to check the logo image you wish to use to see if it has the proper proportions. You may need to edit the image for this reason prior to making the submission. In the venue submission form, there is a text box in the form for the required entry of the venue's street address, and another text box for the optional but recommended entry of contact information. The address can be several lines of information, and the contact information could be the phone number and possibly the mailing address. The contact information box will scroll automatically to allow more text than the width of the box. Also seen in the venue submission form is the optional hours of operation of the venue. If the venue has regular hours, this entry is highly recommended. Most important for the venue submission form is the entry of location for the city or town of the venue. This choice should always be entered and will allow visitors to costarts.org to find the venue by filtering their search by city or town. Clicking on the arrow will drop down a list of cities with the scroll bar to drag down to see further down the list. Select the city name by clicking on it to highlight it. The exercises that follow are simulations of the actual forms, so you can practice. Prepare with some information to type or paste into the forms. Do not take too long in deciding what text to use at this time, since we are just having you experience the procedure. Find the images you will need on your computer. Make sure that they are portrait-oriented and less than 2 megabytes. A simulation of the resulting listing will be presented to you after you submit each form. You will then take a quiz to complete this lesson.